Hello, God bless y'all. Welcome back to this video. And I want to focus on this evangelist that allowed the gospel to be spread throughout all of Latin America. Specifically, I want to focus on in this series on how this effect of God working through him has affected the island of Puerto Rico and how other Latin American countries, nations have been also impacted and in also Spanish speaking countries. So let's get started. So who is this evangelist I'm talking about? His name is Yyi Avila. This is how the name we know him as, but his actual full name is Jose Joaquin Avila Portaletin. He was born September 11, 1925 in Camuy, Puerto Rico. And he passed away in June 28, 2013 at the age of 87 in Camuy, Puerto Rico in his hometown. So what was he doing before he was an evangelist? He practiced being a bodybuilder. So he was a bodybuilder. There will be images in which you will see that he was doing that. He studied in the Biblical Institute in Saint Germain, Puerto Rico. He had to pass a course of the New Testament and of the Old Testament, so that required him to read the Bible. And while he was doing all of this studying, he was also being a bodybuilder at his time. But you'd say, okay, that's it. No, he was widely recognized as someone very athletic in his area. So he won a title of Mr. North America in 1954 in the United States, and also named Mr. Puerto Rico in 1952. And he also competed in the Olympics. But something took a turn. At the age of 35, he ended up being sick. But what was that sickness? What happened? What was it? It was arthritis. He said that having that was going to challenge him to not longer be a bodybuilder. So that was like affecting his sports career. So in that moment, he was having this arthritis. He said that he prayed to God, and the next day, God allowed a healing. But in the interview he gave to someone in the 2000s, he explained that he ended up being a teacher. But he mentioned one of his hardships. He said that after 45 years of preaching and evangelizing, he says that all his hardships have a purpose to evangelize to those who are lost and those who are far away from Christ. But he said the strongest hardship he has had was when his daughter passed away by the hand of her husband at that time. So in other interviews, he has gotten more deeper into how he has felt and what was going on with him. And you're starting to say, okay, what was he doing at that time before he got called to the ministry that we are widely familiar with? He was a professor, a teacher in chemistry and biology in 1967. So that is when, in that year, that is when God called him to the ministry. So you're saying, okay, that's the end of it? No, this is the start of an evangelist that God allowed to preach his word, and not only to a small region, but to be able to bring an impact to others who had still not known of him. So more information in the next episodes, because there's a lot more that comes with how God worked through him and how others have been impacted. So thank you for watching, and God bless.